It is, and it's right next to Scottsdale Air Park as well, Scott. And let me step aside here. You can see here they have a huge part of this area blocked off now. Scottsdale Road right at Thunderbird. It is closed in both directions right now as they start this investigation. But you're right, Scottsdale police just releasing some information, letting us know that that woman's in bad shape. She's at the hospital right now with life-threatening injuries. I can see that the driver remained on scene. You can see the white car just on the other side of the intersection there, and that driver is talking with officers and investigators right now who have just created their scene and kind of widened it a bit. Now, for those who are here and use Scottsdale Road, they're going to have to try their way around it and kind of stay around from this area, but they are allowing people to use Thunderbird to go east or west, but they're not letting them go south or north on Scottsdale Road, Elena. So the stuff that's closed, I would say it's north and south from Thunderbird all the way up to, I believe, Dreyfus, I think they said, over on the south side, just south of Thunderbird. But either way, I would just kind of steer clear of Scottsdale Road altogether, because it looks like they are just getting their perimeter set up as they start this investigation as to what happened here and how this crash happened.
All right. Thank you, Gibby, for giving us the eyes on the ground that we need to see so we know to let drivers understand what they're dealing with this morning. That's definitely a very busy thoroughfare in Scottsdale. So if you want to get around it, it is being advised to take 68th Street or Hayden Road to get around this intersection there, because it looks like it's going to be blocked off for quite some time. Otherwise, let's go ahead and